I remember being sat in a meeting and they were like, it's going really well. The worst thing anyone could do now is date someone in a boy band. And I was like this.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Tolly T and welcome back to the My Love Is podcast brought to you by Bumble, the dating app that puts women firmly in control. So far this season, we have celebrated all things love, all things black love. We've talked about the status quo, we've talked about girl code, we've talked about fertility issues. We've just talked the talk and done the things. And this episode, I am so excited to bring you a little bonus one. And this is the big guns. We're talking marriage. This is our first married couple, married for 10 years. And I am so excited and so gassed to talk to Rochelle and Marvin Humes. Their love story started as members of two of the biggest pop bands, The Saturdays and JLS. JLS had me on a chokehold. I loved them. So we have watched these two be pop stars and presenters. The two are found presenting their show on the BBC called The Hit List, and Rochelle is often on This Morning and also has her own brand, My Little Coco, inspired by her kids, which is all about embracing your natural curls. Marvin can be seen spinning the decks, playing some music on Capital FM. I am so gassed to talk to them too, and hopefully I learn a thing or two about a long-lasting relationship. Today I am joined by pop royalty, who, and I don't know if it's on purpose, but they've matched their outfit like all long-term couples apparently. I'm here with Marvin and Rochelle Humes.
How you doing, Tolly?
Hi, Hans. I'm good, thank you. How are you guys?
I just would like to flag.
Okay, go on.
Before we go any further.
It wasn't planned.
Well, it was by you.
What did you do?
We left the house separately because we do that. I come here, do my hair and makeup. He's like, there's no time for that. I'll come later because you're just going to chat, get ready, it's long. He said, what are you wearing for this Bumble chat we're doing today? So I said, just grey trousers, black top, chill.
And then
he arrives like this guy.
Because he changed. You had caramels on earlier.
Right.
I thought that was your feet.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't go with the seating. Do you know what I mean?
Lost.
So
okay, fine.
I brought options. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
channeling
now
like
you're wearing the same kind of clothes.
Brittany and Justin, isn't it?
It
It's like that
worse.
VMAs moment.
It could have been worse. It could have been double denim, both of us.
You should have done that actually. The next time I see you guys out
Tolly?
together, I want you to look cute. It's what's best for you guys.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely,
Okay, fine.
absolutely.
Not for your entertainment.
No. For the love of you both. Okay, so I want to get to know you guys a bit more.
Yes.
And I want the people them listening to know you guys a bit more.
Okay.
So we're going to do a little icebreaker. Okay. It is a game that I've stolen from Bumble's app called the Bumble Question Game. And I've also added my own because I'm nosy and I want to know more.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Right, okay. So it's 5 quick fire. Don't think too much.
Okay.
What comes up to your mind first? What is each other's love language? So what's Marvin's love language and what's Rochelle's love language?
Okay, do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Marvin's love language is he would like to just be at home. He would like me to make him some sort of a roast dinner. He would like a glass/bottle of Whispering Angel.
Oh, the love. I can feel the love language.
He would
Yes.
like to then maybe watch a box set, play some music.
So acts of service and peace of mind, basically.
I feel like just
home
if
comfort.
I know him and I'd be like, okay, we've got a day off today, what is he going to want to do?
Right, okay.
That's what he would want to do.
Right,
I feel
okay.
like that, right?
Yeah.
Or like an evening. Or
Okay,
whatever.
nice.
100%.
And Rochelle's?
Yeah.
Rochelle's love language is a hot water bottle,
It actually is.
some Earl Grey tea,
Okay.
on the sofa. This is how rock and
Can
roll
I
we
just
are. Do you know
say,
what I mean?
he's talking about me. Rochelle is not 90.
But this
it's
is
true,
This is the
but it's
language
just
of
what you
love.
like
I
to do.
like a hot water bottle.
Okay.
No, Joe really
when
does
he-
it for Rosh.
Go on.
Is if I prepare a hot water bottle before bed. That's that gets
Do you
her
know
going.
that? I find
Right,
it's
okay.
like things like that
Is it
cute.
the hot water bottle? Is it that Marvin's done it for you?
It's the fact he knows I like it. So
Okay,
like, let's
okay,
I
okay.
don't need to go to bed and with my hot water bottle and knit, just so you know. I'm
Yeah.
not like 90.
Okay. When do you feel you're sexiest?
On holiday.
Nice. Yeah.
I was going to say in the morning, but...
Do you?
Yeah, he does
know
that. I'll
if,
vouch for that. He does.
Yeah, probably. I don't want to give away too much.
So I was going to say why. I know it's quick fire, but why?
I'm not sure why.
Just so you know.
Don't look at me like that. Why is it in the
Just
morning?
so you
Listen,
know.
as a guy,
Okay. What happens in the mornings? I don't know. I'm not a man.
I know.
Okay.
yeah.
I'm
The
sure-
guys watching will know.
Let us know what's so great about the morning, and we'll see if Marvin agrees.
The breath is not.
Yeah, because it's a bit
Yeah,
mad.
that's
but
not the
sure.
one.
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
the
yeah.
breath.
That's not cool.
Who said I love you first?
Marv.
Me, yeah.
Okay, what's your favourite thing about each other?
Everything.
Oh, you're adorable.
No, it's true though. I tried to
Aww.
Did you know that?
I won't be able to pick one thing.
I'm waiting for the joke.
No, serious. I won't be able to just pick one thing. I'm very lucky, for sure.
Rochelle?
Can't beat that answer.
I know, what the hell? I've been stitched up. Okay, if I had to pick one thing, and I'm going to combine this as one, I would say his patience and kindness, I would say, are my favourite things. Oh. I'm not patient.
Okay.
So the fact that he is, he almost gives me more patience.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah. Okay, the final question. In your marriage, what is something that you've done that you'll never do again?
Oh my gosh. Oh, I know.
Oh.
Go on.
When we got married, we got married, we got pregnant.
You got pregnant.
Well, you did that to me.
You did it. It was the morning.
You were definitely there.
It was the morning.
Oh, gosh. It was the morning, all right. We got married, we got pregnant, and we moved house in the space of like 9 months.
Yeah.
6 months even.
Stress.
And we were young, right? I was 23 when we got married.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So I didn't really know that was a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why am I so, I'm stressed. Like, what have I got to be stressed about? And everyone was like, you've literally, they say like, there's a list of like the most stressful things that happen in your life and you're doing 3 of them in like less than 9 months. So yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah, I'd agree with that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old were you when you guys got married?
27.
He's older than me, you see.
Yeah.
27. But we were fairly young.
Would you recommend it? Yeah, because now like 27 and 23 is like babies to get married. Would you recommend getting married that young?
When I think of like my sisters who are that age, right? 23, 25, but I kind of would think, oh my God, that's so young.
Yeah.
But not because they're young, but I don't know if life is different. I don't know. I don't know where I am on it. But for us,
I think it's where we were.
Where we were. Correct.
We were
Correct.
very fortunate in our careers, you know what I mean? Like, 27 was like peak JLS times.
Yeah.
And same for Rochelle with the Saturday.
Yeah.
So, financially we're in a good place, and obviously, most importantly, we're very much in love. But it was quite quick.
But it didn't feel young. And then I got pregnant, like I said, literally, we got married in the July and I fell pregnant in the September.
Oh, wow, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And how long were you together before that?
We got together in 2010.
Like 2 years.
And then
Married 2012.
Married 2012.
Alea 2013.
And then Alea May 2013.
Okay. So you mentioned about like you were both like very lucky to be in places where you were settled, right?
Yeah.
So when I talk to a lot of guys about getting married, their consistent thing is that they want to be at a certain place before they can get married, right? But do you think that's a flawed mentality? Because why can't you get to that place with your partner and then...
Yeah. I get that. I do get their reasoning though.
Yeah.
Like, I'd see why you... Well, I'm not sure if you're just talking about male, but also female. Like, I kind of... Sometimes there's so much on your agenda before it is meeting that person and settling down. So I do get that, but I feel like we'd done so much that then seemed like at the time the natural progression.
Yeah.
But I suppose that mentality comes from a place of, I kind of want to make sure my ducks are in a row. I want to make sure that, because I guess if you look after yourself and then you open up the universe to bring you somewhere, that's always what I've thought. So I do understand that. But yeah, maybe it is a bit flawed.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like, this is my person, let's do this build together.
Yeah.
Obviously, listen, marriage isn't for everyone, but for us, definitely obviously for Rush as well. But we both come from, families where, especially my side of the family, it was important for us to get married before we had children.
I have to say, I had no idea he was going to ask me to marry him.
Did you not?
No.
Wait, okay, I've gone too far.
Sorry,
Firstly,
this is quick fire.
How did you meet? Because I was trying to get a gauge of that. Where was it?
So
was it at some award show?
Tell the story that's true.
No, I'm going to tell the true story. We first met when Rochelle was about 16 and I was about 20.
Yeah.
I was in a band before JLS.
Right.
She was a presenter on a children's show, and I went on as a guest.
Yeah.
And I remember meeting her because she was in S Club Juniors, so obviously I knew of her.
Yeah.
And I remember her mum was like side of stage because she was a chaperone.
Me.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I remember speaking to her mum, and that was just like the first time we met, but that wasn't like a romance
nothing
thing,
like that. Just that's when we met.
And then we met again a few years later because we both sort of grew up in similar areas and went to the same clubs and stuff. And again, I'd just say hi.
Yeah.
I was probably about, I don't know, 20. No, maybe a little bit older.
Yeah.
And then
we both had partners and stuff at that time, right? We were both with someone. It wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then fast forward to us being in the groups, we shared the same singing coach.
Right, okay.
She did Jealous and she did the Saturdays, Priscilla. And
hold tight, Priscilla.
Big up Priscilla.
And I just, one day, she just used to randomly say, she was obviously like building up to it, right? So she used to be like, oh, you so remind me of Marvin from JLS. He's like the male you in the group and you're like the female him. And I'd be like, okay, all right, okay, yeah, they seem like nice guys. How are they? Like, there wasn't a motive. And then slowly she would drop in like, Marvin, you'd really like Marvin. And it just kept sort of happening. And then we saw each other. And then I was so anti, I'm like, I just got out of a relationship, right? And I had that relationship, it didn't end well. He cheated on me. We just bought a house together. It wasn't, we were young. It's fine. I don't hold any, but it just wasn't.
But screw him. I said it. Not
But yeah, at the time, screw him. I'm grown now, and I met him, so it's not a thing. However, at the time, it wasn't very nice, and I was quite on a like, I don't need a man.
Yeah.
I'm in this group. I'm being successful. I'm like, I don't need anyone in my energy, right? It was more that. And
okay, let me pick up from here. So we were doing loads of shows together, right? And she caught my eye instantly. And I'm in like JLS, like this is peak JLS time.
You're the guy.
I was single.
Yeah.
I'm not say that, but I was single. Do you know what I mean?
Which is why I was like,
I was single. I was having a good time. Do you know what I mean? But then I met Rochelle, and everything changed for me. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I had to make my move. You know what I mean?
How did you make the move?
Yeah, Marv, how did you make
She
the
made
move?
me
You
work.
tell him.
She made me work.
You tell him.
So, we were doing loads of shows together, JLS on the Saturdays, and then I remember being in Dublin, we did a show, and we had to stay over because the show was so late, there was no flights to come back.
Everyone did. It was one of them multi-act bills where there's like, it was at the time where it was us. We would all do the same rounds. Jason Derulo.
Tiny,
N-Dubs, Tinchy. It was like, the
best time of my life.
So anyway, we went to the after party and I thought, right, this is my chance.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we were sat down somewhere in a club and Rochelle had her handbag on the table and she said, I'm just going to go to the toilet.
Okay.
Can you just look after my bag for me?
No, well, you've added a bit in already.
What girl goes to the toilet and doesn't take her handbag, right? So, Tolly, this is my moment, right? She's left her handbag there. She's left her handbag there, obviously, for me to steal her phone, which had no pin lock on it, by the way.
No.
So I picked up her phone, put my number in, called myself.
Of course.
Because obviously,
can we just pause 1 second? We've got to go back before it goes too far, because this has already gone too far.
There's no lies there. That's
Babe,
you went into her bag?
Yes.
Without her being?
I had to seize the opportunity.
It's true.
Okay.
But, okay, that's true. What isn't true is you've added little sprinkles throughout that. And the sprinkles are that I said, could you just look after my bag? I didn't know you. I didn't ask you to look after my bag. First of all.
You left it on the table.
And I'd just been to the girl wee, where you go to the toilet and you sort yourself out.
But why did you take your bag?
Actually, the toilet, no, because we had the guy that was looking after us at the time, Graham, who did the security for both of us, for lots of us in our industry at the time. Because I know you don't believe me. I know you don't believe me. I was like grinding the toilet, so he literally took me to the toilet, went to the toilet, and that was it. I actually needed a wee.
And you left your bag?
I left my bag there.
Okay.
I was with my girls. All my girls were on the table. Right?
Okay.
And so I just went by myself. I did not expect a guy to go through. What is the first thing you get taught?
Don't go in a woman's bag.
Thank you. Okay.
Like I said, I had to take
so
the opportunity.
So you put your number in and you called her?
Took the number. No, I called myself.
He called myself.
So because I knew if I'd have asked her for a number,
you'd be cancelled if you did that in this day and age.
She would have said no if I'd have asked her for a number because she, just come out of a relationship and she was, she was doing her thing.
She was that girl also.
She was doing her thing. So anyway, took the number, didn't tell her I took the number, carried on that night. We stayed up till about 5 a.m. just chatting. We got on really well.
Yeah.
Great night.
Yeah.
And then literally, she went back to her hotel room, then I called her. Yeah.
Why does he think it's...
Okay.
And she picked up. She picked up at 5 a.m. Then, hello, who's this?
No.
What was your voice like? Was it your
I actually wanted to know who it was. I went, hello. And he was like, hey, Rochelle.
It's Marvin.
It's Marvin.
Why are you doing that voice for?
Because that's the voice you do.
Lies.
Of course, that's what she knows. She knows already. Everyone knows that voice when you purposely lie down so it sounds a bit sultrier. So, hey, right.
So anyway, I tried my luck.
Should
that
we be
night.
honest
She
about
was having none of it,
Babe,
right?
tell the conversation, because that's funny.
No, you tell it.
He doesn't like this. So he was like, it's Marvin. He goes, so where are you? I was like, oh, just in the room. And he was like, who can I hear? And Vanessa, who was in the Saturdays, was in the room with me. We used to get 5 rooms, but Vanessa and I used to just room because we used to chill. We liked that. So I'd be like, oh, Vanessa. And he tried to make his band seem bigger than mine. He was like, oh, do you not get your own room? I was like, no, I've got my own room, thanks. But it's next door. We're just chilling because we like a sleepover. And he was like, oh, you don't like to sleep by yourself? And I said, no, I've always been like that. If I'm away, I always sleep with Vanessa. And then he's like, well, listen, if you're lonely, you can...
oh, Marvin, you've lost me.
You can come, he knows, you can come up to my room. No, I'm not done. You can come up to my room and it doesn't need to be anything like that, We can just cuddle.
Oh, Marvin.
Listen, be honest, if you're... Be honest, did you say that?
I know, but...
You were a good-looking man in JNS.
Listen, I was shooting my shot, you know what I mean? Fast forward, we're here with 3 kids.
Yeah, apparently it worked. Apparently it worked.
You know what I'm saying? So it worked, you know what I mean? But listen, now what happened after that, she made me work hard. I don't think I went on a date with Rosh for about 3 months.
Okay. Do you know what it was? I just didn't want... I think because I'd had that situation, I'd come out of that, I thought, I'm not going to go out with a guy that thinks he's all this.
Yeah, fair.
Right? So I'm like, I don't want to do this like... And obviously I didn't know you as a person. I was just assuming you're in this boy band. And we also... I remember being sat in a meeting and they were like, don't ever date anyone from a boy band. So I kind of think I had that in the back of my head too.
Right, okay.
Without A&R at the label at the time. I remember at the time, Frankie was going out with Dougie from McFly. And I just got with you. So this is after this.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's going really well, girls, because we'd really sort of grafted. We hadn't like launched overnight. We didn't have like, the backing of an X Factor where people got to know us. We literally had to do like every dodgy club on the way up to, make some noise. And we did. And we'd just get into a really good point and they were like, it's really hard to get girls to like other girls and not, it not be a threatening thing. And like, it's going really well. The worst thing anyone could do now is date someone in a boy band. And I was like this.
Oops.
And I just remember looking at Frankie and she looked at me and we were like, let's just not say it.
But I would have thought it would have been a good idea then because it was like, because now everyone talks about PR relationships and like how couples are put together to look good.
But you've got to remember, right, predominantly 95% of the fan base of JLS are girls that are like infatuated and like we're having like girls join us and be like, come join us, we're the girls to hang out with.
Of course.
And then we date someone that they love.
That they fancy, absolutely.
So it's kind of that, I think that was the notion behind it. But I just remember thinking, oops, am I going to get sacked?
What did Marvin do to make you change your mind? Because you were not having it originally. What was the moment you were like...
Persistence. And just not giving up.
And charm.
Yeah, but I obviously wanted it, and I say this a lot. Like sometimes if a guy is full on and you don't like him, it's literally like, okay, this is like, whoa, okay, this is giving me the ick. Yeah. But it didn't. And I kind of welcomed it. Yeah. And it kind of, I tried to fight it. Yeah. Knowing that I actually liked him and wanted it. It was just kind of that I didn't want to be in a relationship and I told myself that. And I didn't want to date someone in a boy band. And I kind of had these weird blockers when actually I really liked him. Yeah. And my friends were like, what, like, you like it's fine. Yeah. Like, he seems nice, you like him. Why are you stopping yourself from having a good time? Yeah. And I kind of was like, yeah, I am. Like, that's exactly what I'm doing. So, yeah, I obviously really liked him because he was so full on that I would have been like, who is this guy? Yeah. And I think that's all that happens when the dial changes, right? Yeah. If a guy that you're really into is like going, can you meet me tomorrow? You're like, oh my God, yes, he wants to meet me tomorrow. Of course. Whereas if you're not feeling it too much, it's like, why does he want to see me tomorrow? Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, okay, nice. So during that time, so it's been, what, a 13-year relationship now? Yeah. Have there been any breakups? Were there any time that you were like, I don't want to do this? Because I feel like when people talk about marriage, everyone makes like, it's great. And like, you love each other all the time.
There was. Well, basically, I proved exactly her theories that she was right because we had a little split about a year in.
Who was that, honey? Who was that?
It was my doing.
Yes, okay.
And you know what the weirdest thing is? I just got cold feet for some reason, right? And I just panicked and called it off with Rosh.
Right, okay.
And then when I did that, I knew that second, it was the biggest mistake I'd made.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there because I hear this a lot with guys. Why do you guys do that? Why is it that like...
It's true, it's happened to a couple of my friends
so often
too.
Where it's like, I just got overwhelmed and I left you. Explain that to me.
I'll tell the truth, because I was in a relationship previous where, you know, normal relationship, I learned so much in that relationship. But what I learned in that relationship is that I probably should have, I think it went on for too long.
Okay.
And I sort of didn't have the balls to call it off. And I was quite young. And then it sort of had the reverse effect. When I was with Rosh, I just panicked. I was like, right, I want to call it off.
Yeah.
And like I said, when I did it, I knew I was making a mistake, you know, and broke Rochelle's heart.
Yeah, I found that so tough at the time.
I can imagine,
I was literally like...
Because it's like when it's going good, it's like, why are you ending nothing?
We were like having the best time, like we just moved in together. And then literally, I remember coming home from work one day, genuinely, the way that he approached me, I thought someone was either really sick or someone had passed away. I was like, you okay? I remember I just got out of the shower and he was like, I need to talk to you. I was like, what's up? Like, fuck, like, I was ready to comfort him and then box him. I was ready to be like, oh my, what, don't worry, whatever it is, we've got this. And he's like, I don't think I want this anymore. And when but I still didn't understand that he meant us. Yeah. Like, genuinely, it was the last thing from my brain. Yeah. And I remember just being like, whoa. And then I was like, okay, I still had my flat. I packed my bags. And then I was like, you need to know, like, say this now with your chest. I remember saying that to you. You need to know that, because if this is it, like, don't.
Oh, wow.
Like, you can't, this is it. And then literally, I then was like, fine. And then my wall goes up. Of course. And then you won't hear from me. Because I know what I'm like.
You did all of that work to break the wall.
Yeah.
And then you just did one thing and it just all back up again.
The wall's up. So then, then I was I suppose gave you what you asked for, essentially, which probably what then made you realise, because I didn't do that whole, hi, can we meet? Can we? Okay. Even when I wanted to, I just didn't. And I sort of just pretended I was fine. Okay. And was like, okay, that's it, you won't hear from me again.
And like I said, I knew when I did it that I was making a mistake, you know, but I needed to have that time to realise what I had, you know what I mean? And then it must have been about 6 weeks. There was no contact.
And you kept emailing me.
Obviously I was checking in on her, but I knew that I didn't have the right to keep in contact because I'd caused this breakup. Yeah. And then literally 6 weeks had passed. Obviously she didn't make it easy for me, but I managed to win her back. Yeah. And that's when I knew that I'd be with her for the rest of my life.
And then it's weird because it also taught me a lot as well. Yeah. Which in hindsight, at the time, I was heartbroken. Yeah, of course. And I was kind of like, how dare he? Yeah. And obviously it wasn't an Insta thing then, right? So you didn't do Insta, so I literally remember putting on like the shortest outfit and going to like Nobu, where I knew there would be a pap because I wanted him to see me looking good, you know? If it was Instagram, did it all work? If it was sobbing at home. 100%. If it was Instagram, it would have been like, wow, she's posting, she's thirsty on the ground. Yeah. So I'm actually fortunate that didn't exist then. It's weird, actually. I think it taught me the same thing. Like, God, he was a big part of my life, and I feel so broken that, you know, and I will be fine because I was fine before he existed, and I'll be fine afterwards, right? I'll be fine. But wow, he really does add value to my life, and I did notice that. And then you slowly then started to approach me, didn't you? He would start like turning up at places where he knew I would be and things. And I was like, I think he's regretting this. Obviously. And I'm gonna
Massively.
So much fun here.
Massively. And, you know, obviously, you know, like I said, Ross, jokes aside, you know, fair play. She made me work hard to win her back. And then I knew that I wanted to marry her. You know, I knew that she was going to be the woman for me, like, forever. And like I said, I think all relationships have testing times. That was definitely our, you know, most difficult period, witithout a doubt. Yeah. But I do say, if we hadn't gone through that, we may not have been, you know,
and I hate to admit it because it killed me, but you're right. Yeah. You know, you are. And I think it showed me as well that, oh my goodness me, this this is what I want.
Yeah, do you know, it's really nice to hear a married couple be like honest about it, because I think often it's like, oh, it was all great, yeah, we loved each other and we're here forever, and it's just like, no, someone you love can break your heart, and then they can fix that for you again, and then you can get back together.
Yeah,
and I think often you don't
also
hear
took
it.
a while for me to build that trust back with Rosh, because obviously I've done such a drastic thing, and too right, if it was my daughter, I'd be exactly the same. This guy's broken your heart. How do you know he's not going to do it again?
Yeah.
So it took a long time
and there was definitely a bit of that for a while, because it was so out of the blue. There was nothing, from my side. Obviously, I wasn't in your head, but from my perspective, I literally got home from work one day and it was done. Yeah. So then I was nervous for a while, thinking, okay, is it that easy for you? Are we happy now? Are we not? Because I thought we were happy before. There was a bit of that for a little while.
So now that you've been married for 10 years, how do you guys conflict resolution? Do you, if you're not happy at a time, do you sit down and be like, hey, I've got friends who've been married for quite a while, and they at the end of every year, they go for a nice meal, and then she gets to say all of her grievances from the year. And here's what I didn't like, and here's this, and here's this, and here's how we can do better for next year. Yeah. How do you keep going for 10 years and actually get to kind of communicate well about your problems?
I truly don't believe once a year is enough. I don't. I think it should be a constant evolving thing. If something annoys you, if something annoys me, we just share. I think communication is so big. Yeah. And sometimes that communication isn't always going to look pretty. Sometimes it's not, But if you're open with each other, I know what Marvin deems as respectful. I know what he appreciates. I know what he's not comfortable with, and vice versa. I would know. You'd know how to push my button in a heartbeat, and vice versa.
That comes with time. We've learned so much about each other, and we've grown. It sounds like a cliche, but we've grown so much in our relationship. You know what I mean? The level of where we're at now to where we were 13 years ago is night and day. You know what I mean? So, and with that, we're lucky. We're very much in love. I still fancy her more today than I did years ago. That's important to us. Obviously, it's important, to all couples, but we're very lucky that we have that. Do you know what I mean? But then we're also parents, we're also friends.
You wear so many different hats. Yeah. I think that's what it is, and it's always.
But you're right, communication.
So fast, sure. But for me, I just think communication, and I think we've got that mutual respect for each other. So I wouldn't want to do anything to disrespect him ever. Say anything, do it. That is the most important thing to me. That he always feels respected, and I think vice versa. So I think anything else is salvageable, right? Whatever happens.
So, respectfully, you guys got married and started growing up stuff quite young. Because you look at it now. Yeah. Did you have growing up good examples of relationships, or from your background, your parents, or anything like that?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. My mum and dad are still together.
You're saying wow.
I know. Right.
No, I am. I think about obviously my mixed race. My mum's white, my dad's black. They grew up in the 70s together. And that's commendable for sure.
Absolutely.
And of course, role models and inspiration for me growing up and, having a great family. My family unit was very, I was very lucky, there wasn't much divorce and stuff in my big family.
With your wider family,
Yeah, so I definitely was really lucky with that. For sure, that was, and inspiration.
See, mine's kind of the opposite. I grew up raised by my mum. My dad, I knew who he was, but he was never around, never present. But when I say it's opposite, I grew up with so much respect for her. Yeah. And, she literally was more than two parents in one, and, raised us so well. So I'm so so thankful. But it weirdly taught me what I wanted in a partner. Okay. So maybe had I have been so safe and so protected in that family bubble, maybe I wouldn't have, I don't know, the same views on what it this is what I don't want, right? This is what I want for a dad, for my children. This is how I want to build my life. So I kind of, weirdly, it was completely opposite upbringing to you. but it made me so sure.
Yeah. I think there is something about being brought up from a single parent household, because I am as well. And it's you go either one way of like, my mum was independent, I can do what I want, or you're like, you try to create what you didn't have.
Yeah.
So you spend your whole life being like, I need to create this like version of a family and a partner because I didn't have that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's like, because I do think there is a bit of like, I don't want to say trauma, but trauma that comes from being brought up in like...
Oh, I do agree.
Yeah. Is that anything that showed up in your relationship? Because
that's interesting.
Yeah, because I've been in relationships with people who have got both their parents, and I'm like, all right, looking for some sort of thing. And because there's certain expectations of what you have from being in your background. Did that ever come up? Did you be like, oh yeah, you can tell?
I don't know. I think because I had my examples, as in my mum and dad, and they got married young and had kids young, I guess subliminally maybe that was in me. But I keep saying I was lucky that I found Rochelle. Do you know what I mean? You know, other members of my family may have not got married.
I acted anyway for not having my dad present? Do you know what I mean? Do you think there's like...
No, I didn't feel that of you. No.
I don't feel like I project that at all, actually. I feel that it gave me more clarity. And I'm not thanking my dad for not being present, because he should have been.
Yeah.
But in a way, it gave me clarity on who I would take seriously.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. I think, you know, I was young, so I didn't put pressure on it. I didn't know we were going to get married. I didn't know I was actually here for the long haul, really, at that time. I knew I adored him, but I didn't know what the future looked like. But like, he had traits that I took seriously.
Yeah. Because I think when people talk about daddy issues, there's the assumption that like you're gonna sleep around or blah 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 blah. But I think there was an opposite where you're just genuinely like a bit scared of men because you just don't know.
I feel like, and especially when we got back together. Actually, no, at the beginning when we got together, I was very direct with Rosh. Again, it might have been a bit too much, but well, obviously it wasn't, 'cause we were together. But I laid out exactly what I wanted. I mean, I wasn't joking. I said, I want to be with you, I want to have children. You know, laid out the plan. I wasn't playing around. Then we broke up, and then I did it all again. And had to, you know, build her trust again. But I literally proposed to Rochelle within 6 months of us being back together. And then we got married 7 months later. And we had a child a year later. You know, that was part of the plan. So I feel like I was very direct in what...
And I think I kind of... daddy issues, which we hate. That title. But actually, I don't think that really come into play until we had kids. And it wasn't a relationship thing for me and between us. It was more that like, I want my kids to have the best dad.
Absolutely.
And that was what sort of my appreciation for him went through the roof when I saw him with my children, and it does every day. Like, if Alaya's like, oh, Daddy wants me to do this with him, I'm like, Alaya, it's so lovely that you're, and she knows that, and she appreciates, because I constantly will remind her, I'm like, well, Daddy just wants to hang out with you, that's so nice. Like, but it like melts my heart.
I see the TikToks and I'm like, oh my God, this
literally,
is so
I'm like, oh my
so
goodness. And like, I'll talk to my sister and then I'm like, that is it. Imagine if that's what we had. And I get so excited for them. In all honesty, I kind of have I always say this, like a weird relationship with that, because my mum will say, oh my goodness, like by the way, I can't talk a bad word about him to my mum, because I'm not the favourite. That's how that is. But you know, if she'll say to me, oh my goodness, you're so lucky the way he is with you and the way he is with the children, and he's such a good dad. I'm so happy that you have this. And I understand why she says that, because of her experience and her past with my dad. But however, I'm like, he just stepped up and was a dad. Like, why do we have to do this? Who does that to me? Who says, oh my gosh, you're so lucky, Rochelle's such a good mum? Like, because that's expected, right? So I kind of had a weird relationship with how I feel about that. I know I'm lucky and my kid's lucky and I'm so grateful, but at the same time, I'm like, do we clap when people do what they're supposed to do?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, we do when it comes to dads.
We do.
Yeah, but that's the thing, it's
like a really
Rochelle
archaic way of thinking.
She always, not jokes, she's just serious when she says she hates the term daddy daycare.
Yeah, absolutely. It's your kid, you're not babysitting your kid.
It's my child, you know what I mean? It's normal care, do you know what I mean?
It makes it sound like a novelty.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be good look at watching the kids.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Or for example, tonight, after this, we've got an event to go to, and someone will come up to me and they'll say to me, so who's got the kids tonight? And he'll be next to me. I'm like, In what, like, who would ask you that? So, who's got the kids tonight? If you turned up to a DJ gig, literally nobody would say that to you. It's just a weird, you know.
Yeah. Both your fathers are Jamaican, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So was that like a bonding thing for you guys? Did you like bond over the culture, the heritage? Did you talk about it?
I think for me, instantly, I sort of felt a real closeness to Marv's dad.
Okay.
We got together and like his dad was, you know, is an incredible dad to you. And I kind of, instantly we bonded. It was kind of like the dads that I never had around, if you know what I mean. So we would bond over, you know, he would teach me how to cook. His dad's a chef as well, so it's amazing. He would teach me, like, the first things first was like, right, you need to learn how to cook Saturday soup. And that was like the first thing. And so we definitely bonded over that. And I was kind of I'm really thankful to like sort of take on another family too. Until the numbers at the wedding, and I was like, 500?
Yeah, because Rosh is definitely the daughter that my dad never had. Obviously, she is now his daughter as well. But, you know, when we first got together, because my mum and dad had 3 boys. But yeah, Rosh definitely cooks a wicked Saturday soup now.
She good.
And music, like your dad was always the one that would be like, going to the market of a weekend to the CD stand, and you know, like
CD stand, TBT.
So we like, and like films and the DVDs and all of that that wasn't legit, you know, wasn't supporting our industry, but you know, we loved that was what we bonded.
And I was
over.
lucky because, you know, I, with my parents being together and having such a big Jamaican family in London, my grandparents had 8 kids on my dad's side, and my nan on my mum's side had 4 kids. So in London, I had like this rich, you know, heritage of black and white. And I definitely had both, you know, sides of that growing up, which I loved, you know what I mean? Like, I got the best of both worlds, you know, so.
And that's what I'm so thankful that our kids have.
Nice,
Like, they are so proud of their heritage. You want to see, like, Alea at school when they're like, when they're talking about Black History Month, oh my God, she wants to take in a folder of, like, is she on it? Like, literally, and it's so nice. She'll go in and she'll talk, and I love that that's from us.
You know,
absolutely. I can't, like, there's so much pride in that. But yeah, she is so proud of herself, of her family, of her heritage, and that, like,
and rightly so.
Oh, and as she should be. But it means the world to me that she's kind of, that's what she wants to go and talk about. Like, this is this, you know, I love that.
Nice. Do you ever look at your lives and like, wow, when did I'm still a child. Why am I doing Why do I have a child?
Yeah, like all
Especially
the time.
we just had our 3rd son, our first son, our 3rd child, Blake.
Do you feel like you're grown up enough?
Yeah, it's mad.
It's when they look at you like you, and I remember doing it to my mum, and it's a really weird full circle moment when they expect that you do have the answer to everything. And they're like, and you can hear them talking to their friends, oh yeah, no, I just ask my mum, she'll sort it out. Then I'm thinking, oh my God, I've got work tomorrow, I've got this, I've got that. You find a way, you do.
Yeah, of course.
But I remember thinking that your mum just does it, and she's superhuman, and that's how life is. But actually, like, she's just a mum. And she's just a girl that will be on the phone to her best friend or her mum going, oh, I've got to do this, how do I figure it out? It's now non-uniform day tomorrow, and I've not done this, and I've not bought the jumper, and I've not done that. But you figure it out. We're all just winging it. I think that's
absolutely.
What it is.
And because that from the outside, you guys are like 10 years in, you renewed your vows. It's stunning.
Thank
the
you.
pictures were beautiful. But even talking about the idea of like pictures and like having your beautiful family, your kids are beautiful, you do TikToks. And I think when people watch that, it's like this like family goals. How does that, is that a pressure thing for you as well? Especially in the UK, being like a black couple as well, a mixed race couple, and people look at you and people want to see that, right? Do you ever feel like you have to give it to them just to be like, hey, here? Because I'm very like particular about my socials. I want to give out joy. I just want it to be, I know like it's not my real life, but I'm never going to post me crying because what's that got to do with you?
Do you know what is so funny? And I am so with you on this. I felt like we went through a real phase, and I feel like we're still sort of there, that you were kind of not called real unless you posted a picture of a stretch mark, or if you were like crying, or if you posted a picture of a dirty nappy on the floor as a mum influencer, or however that looked. And I have so much respect for everybody, and I have so much, if that's your thing, that's fine. But that doesn't mean that I'm any less real because I don't.
Because I don't post
like,
it.
if I'm having the shittest day, and you know, my kid's just done a punami, and I'm, you know, late for a meeting, and this has happened, and I can't find my phone. The last thing you think I'm going to do is go, oh my God, guys, so guess what? I've just got a punami over here. Because for me, that actually gives me anxiety.
Yeah.
The thought that I have to document that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I totally get, and I commend people that do, because I'm like, more power to you, because I'm too busy trying to fumble myself out of the shit that I haven't thought about telling a couple million people about it, you know? So I kind of respect that. I'm the opposite, whereas if I'm having a bit of a bad week, I probably won't post as much.
Yeah.
Because I've been really busy, or, you know, I'm just not really feeling it.
Yeah.
But I kind of like to think, and maybe it is to a fault. Maybe sometimes I'm like, I like to post a pic where, yes, I managed to get a pic with all me and my kids smiling. I'm going to post that because that's nice.
Yeah.
I forgot about posting the one where someone was screaming and I was going, come on, just give me a picture. You know, so I think everybody's different. But for me, when reality hits, I don't think to get on Instagram.
Yeah. I will never
understand. Saying about the pressure thing, we're just us, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no we're incredibly blessed to have, you know, 3 great children, you know, a relationship, and, you know, you say couple goals and stuff, it's like, it's just us, do you know what I mean? We're just doing, we're fortunate enough to be doing a job that we love doing, and we're very lucky to have kids, and, you know, we just share
and
stuff.
It's just
you
weird.
know? At the beginning, we actually didn't.
At
the beginning, we didn't share especially Alea. It took a few years before we
7 years
decided to share her
fair.
with people.
Why didn't we know what Instagram was and
Yeah.
how it worked and what sort of, you know, and now I know that I would maybe post a picture of us together, but I wouldn't, you know, post X, you know, or however it looks. I feel like I wanted to figure out what I was putting my kid on before I did.
I do think everyone I told that I was doing this, I was like, oh my God, I love her Instagram. So I do think there is something in people watching things that are nice. I think you see so many images of like sadness all the time. It is just nice to get someone's like, okay, this is nice stuff, and that's okay.
And also,
it
listen,
depends what you use it for. I use Instagram for a bit of escapism.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm there for like nice
it's not
outfits and beautiful destinations. You know, I feel like there's a lot of realness in the world. That's my time where I scroll for pleasure. So I feel like I use it in that same way.
Yeah.
Our wedding, there was pressure on us then because, you know, like I said, it was peak JLS and Saturday time, so there was a lot of spotlight on us getting married. So of course there was pressure, but
like we had 250 guests in the day and another 250 at night.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, to our wedding. So I remember being like, oh my gosh, where are we going to put all these people?
Have the vows changed? Like what you promised each other 3 to 10 years ago, is it a different promise now, 10 years later?
No.
It was just like
more of our kids involved.
Yeah.
Okay,
stuff,
nice.
Which was really nice. Like our kids sent everyone the invitation, didn't they, and stuff. Aww. It was really nice. And you know what, it was, like you said, it probably did turn into a wedding, so we've got to be excited with it. But it was like the wedding without the pressure.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Without that whole like, this has got to be perfect. It was kind of like...
And it was nice for the kids to see. Obviously, they weren't around at the wedding in 2012. So, you know, for Alea being 9 and Valley 5 and Blake 2, you know, Blake might not remember it, but certainly the girls will. You know what I mean?
You can show him a picture.
Yeah, okay, it was nice for them.
And Marvin was the reason that we actually renewed our vows.
Okay, how did that come about?
We always said we wanted to do it, you know.
Yeah.
We said it from when we got married that we wanted to do it every 10 years. So,
nice.
Yeah.
But what I mean was he's the reason that life sort of gets in the way. We were busy and I was like, should we do it? Do we do it? He's like, no, we need to make time to do this like we did the wedding because otherwise we'll be so sorry that we missed that milestone.
Yeah.
So I was pleased that you kind of pushed that because it could have been one of those things that was an idea that we didn't actually ever get around to doing.
Okay, so looking on to the next 10 years.
Yeah.
What promise would you make for each other to make sure we get them in many, many more 10 years to go?
Oh, that's nice.
I'm adorable.
We're not having no more children.
Are you not?
No.
I said that the other night, didn't I? I was like, should we have another one?
But did you say that after your first 2, though?
We weren't sure about our third, and then I think it was like just before the pandemic, right? And then and then
if you
it was morning time.
You stop feeling sexy in the morning, you start having kids.
So it was a Monday morning.
It was a Monday morning. Anyway, then we had Blake, and obviously we had 2 girls, and then when we found out that Blake was a boy,
oh my God, I was so delighted.
we were both, you know, of course, if it was a girl, it would have been amazing, but. Yeah, the fact that we got our son, I was like, right, we're good now. Yeah.
We weren't going to find out, you know.
Oh, okay.
We didn't find out before. And that's what I'd prepared to do. And we were going for the scan and he was like, we're going to find out today. I was like, what? And then we was laid there in the thing. We had these masks. It was like peak, literally, peak pandemic and laid there. And he was like, we need something to look forward to. We don't know what's going on.
At this point,
what are we having? But do you remember? And the woman was like, and I kept saying, are you sure there's a Willie? Are you sure? I kept saying, are you sure there's a Willie? Every time I went back, it's like, is baby okay? Is there still a willy there? That's all I kept saying.
I guess next 10 years, no more kids, but just happy family and all of that.
You know, more of the same.
Okay,
You know? We're, like I said, we're very, very
100%.
lucky, and you know, watching our kids grow and
this sounds so
watching
cliche.
ourselves grow.
Yeah,
you know?
but I think I'm not the older I get, but it's true. Every year, you pray. For, you know, we've loved and we've lost, and I just pray for health, and happiness. And I think that is genuinely. I just think if we're healthy and our kids are healthy,
then it's good.
Then we're good.
Okay, nice. I'm going to end it with a little game.
Okay, let's go.
And because you are married, not to be a cliche, it's going to be a game of. Do you want to guess?
Mr. and Mrs.
Oh my God, how did you know?
Right, let's go.
I thought you was gonna. Why did
keeper.
my head go to snog, marry, or avoid? Michelle, I was like, it's a bit low. I was like, that's what I'm going to say. Well, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Right, you ready?
Yeah.
Most likely to cry on the kid's first day of secondary school.
Oh, me.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
I cry every parent's evening.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, I'm
She
so
does.
sad. Don't compliment my child, I will cry.
Yeah.
Okay. Most likely to do a reunion tour with their ex-band members.
Oh, well, I'm currently doing it. Done it. Just last year.
I just have to be a fangirl moment. You lot slaps. Like, I love JLS with every... I just have to tell you that. I love when we got to the end. I was trying to be like cool, calm and collected, but if Tolly back then knew she was going to sit here with Marvin Hughes, yo,
wow.
I made it.
Thank you very
That
much.
this is cool, but you know,
I got you.
Okay. Most likely to win a sing-off.
She's a very good singer.
She is.
She's a very good singer.
Yeah.
What? I literally sing Humpty Dumpty.
No.
guys.
No,
That
don't
She,
do that.
she can
Don't
sing.
do that, Rochelle.
She
You
actually
can sing.
forgets how good a singer she is.
Yeah, exactly.
She's
Don't do that.
amazing.
Who is the best at a dance-off? Most likely to win a dance-off.
And I'd say Rosh, because I don't really do it.
He's
I mean-
Mr. Like, have his drink. He
And
just
he's
got,
chill.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
I don't think I'm any better.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you're like-
I've just drunk the drink and I think I'm being
Okay, fair. Okay, most likely to forget the kids have parents' evening.
Me. Yeah, that's why I get
That's why
there
you
and I cry, because I'm always so rushed and I've run from a meeting and then I'm like, oh my God, have I made it? The teacher probably hates me because I've done this again. He's already sat there calm and collected. I sit down and they go, we just want to say Alea is so kind. And I go, literally, I don't know if it's because I've cried because I've made it or they've copied. It's all just, yeah, it's a mess.
Okay, who is the messiest?
You.
I don't know. You can be a little bit messy as well.
Can I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose I can,
Because we
maybe.
got a shared bathroom with like
Okay.
two
You've got two sinks.
sinks.
That's my dream. God, I have
But
to make it.
it may as well be Rochelle's bathroom because she takes over both sinks.
Oh no,
Okay,
but I
fair.
like the aesthetic of my nice products out. That's more for the
Yeah.
vibe.
So do I,
I'm
yeah,
just bringing
same.
vibes.
I can have my moments, but I would say Rochelle's
Okay,
probably
we'll say
messier.
Rochelle with this. Sorry, babe.
Yeah.
Who gives the best gifts?
Me.
Yeah, she does.
I give our gifts. I do the gifts on behalf of us.
No, for each other.
Oh, you're quite good at gifts, but
Yeah, I'm quite good at
probably me.
Okay, fair. Who has the best party trick?
My party trick is taking a phone out of a handbag
And then putting a thing
and getting
in.
a phone number.
I've got a weird
I told
one.
you, if you did that in 2022,
Cancelled.
you'd be cancelled.
Cancelled.
You're lucky.
Okay, who's the first to apologise?
Me.
You,
Yeah, she's quite stubborn.
Okay.
No, I do.
Yeah.
I've got better with age.
You got better, but yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely
It's
you.
very hard for her to
I
say
agree.
sorry.
Okay, cool.
I'm like, sorry, but you still did it. Sorry, but.
And who's most likely to enter the jungle?
I've always said that if I was asked to do that, that's probably
You'd be
one
great.
that I would do because I like the challenge of some
Yeah.
of the things.
No, but you wouldn't be able to do the first bit, baby, where they stand over the buildings.
Yeah,
you wouldn't be
I'm
able to do that.
petrified
You're scared
of
of heights?
heights.
You don't like heights?
As I've got older, I got really bad.
At 6'2", you're petrified.
Yeah, like really
He's
bad.
bad, you
Like, I
know.
went on the roof of our house the other day.
We had some
and
work
I got,
done at our house, and the guy was like, right, do you want to come up and just check the roof? You said the other day as well, I was pregnant. I didn't think anything of it. I got up, put the high vis on. He was like, just going to...
I literally was having a little moment.
He was
like,
having a
I was only
proper
like
moment.
2 stories up. Like it wasn't that
Oh,
high.
wow, okay.
I mean,
You didn't like it at all,
Nah,
did you? It's like, yeah, I think
literally.
I'm going to go back down and you tell me if it
it's
looks
mad as you
like-
get older. Like I used to go on all the rides at Chesington and all that.
You don't like
I could
it
never
now,
do that.
just
now.
gets
Yeah,
it's
funny.
funny.
Nah. But I know I'm going to have to start doing it again because the
With-
kids are
yeah,
going
kids
to
are
do
gonna
it.
do it,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
I'm going to be.
exactly.
I'm gonna
I'd just be terrible in the jungle. I
Yeah.
would just, there's like a smaller list of what I do like than what I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't.
It'll be the eating things.
yeah,
it'll be
you
the
struggle
eating
with that.
things. I'll gag all the time.
I
Yeah,
gag
that'd
at
be
like
horrible.
medicine.
Yeah,
if you've got to
yeah.
have a tablet, let alone
Yeah.
like a
But
kangaroo's
you jump out of
anus.
a plane, no problem.
Yeah, that bit I'd be all right. Yeah. You just have to, just don't tell me, just go.
I have asked everybody this question that's been on here. Okay, the sentence starts with, my love is, ... if you guys can finish that for me.
So my love is patient.
Okay.
My love is sensational.
Aww. That's an Enrique Iglesias song. My love is sensational. No, it's not sensational.
Oh, yeah.
My love.
I know what you mean.
Enrique Iglesias.
What's the word?
Insatiable.
Insatiable.
That's
okay.
the word.
Insatiable.
Put your teeth into it.
Irresatiable. My love is irresatiable. Thank you so much for listening.
Is that been your best answer yet?
Thank you.
Irresatiable.
Irresatiable. Thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode. I really, really hope you enjoyed it. I had a great time, I'm sure you can tell. If you want to join the conversation, tell us about your relationships or how to make relationship last, use the hashtag #MyLoveIs and let us know. Talk to me and talk to me nice.